Well, hello people, Solar Man here. Now this video is just for you guys. I can't put this video on UT because it's a bit naughty. And if you cough the wrong way, say, UT will give you a strike or take your video down. And even if you pass all that, the comment section, lots of people gets removed. It really is a dead place now. And their video selections are very bland and boring. But anyway, I have a bottle of Moretti in front of me, a 660ml bottle that's double the size than I usually have. But I want to talk briefly about when I was a very young man in Canada. I lived in a very rural area where the forest was a big thing. And there was real men around there, men who went in and chopped down trees. It really was a manly place. But you used to see these real men get married, and after quite a few years, they turned into, say, I don't know, pussy whipped. And these men kind of just gave up, you know? And that's what seems to have happened in the Western and European worlds. Men have just given up. They're not fighting the femons anymore. And you see that by the more and more ground femons are gaining and taking over. And of course, men like us, MGTOW, or a facsimile of, have decided not to play the game at all, because the rules are stacked in the femon's favor. But basically, generally I would say in the Western world and European worlds, the men are weak. And it's hard to give respect to these men who cow down and appease their wives and girlfriends, because the femon doesn't respect them at all. But let's look at some other countries. Let's say Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, places like that. And I tell you what, I may not agree with their ideology, but I do respect the men there, because the men are still real men. They're not taking bullshit from their femons, are they? They've obviously known the true feminine nature for a very long time. Young men in Europe and the Western world are completely unprepared for the feminine nature. I think they think they're kind, they're sweet, they're loving, because these young men have been lied to all their lives, and they're easy prey for the femons. Sure, the young men finally find out the true nature of a femon, but it may take 15 years of marriage and a terrible divorce, and he will lose everything. So the young men in, say, like Saudi Arabia and Iran and Iraq must learn about the feminine nature from their young age. And of course they only have to look in the Western world and Europe to see how toxic the feminine nature really is. Of course the big feminist movements in the Western and European worlds is supposed to be all about equality. But I don't think anybody believes that at all now, do they? They want it all. But we'll probably end up with nothing. Because if the future is feminine, it certainly won't last very long. Because that would mean the future will be wokeness. And we've all seen something that becomes woke. What happens? Femons are copycats. Monkey see, monkey do. I lived in a couple of small villages in Thailand, in the northeast. And these villages have good values. They have good traditions. There is mutual respect for men and for femons. But you take that Thai femon to the Western world, and she lives there for a little while. She will become westernized in a very short space of time, and lose all her values and traditions, and become just like all the modern femons in the Western world and European world. She'll just look nicer, that's all. Oh, and I do respect the Thai man, especially in the small villages. They respect their femons too, but they don't take no shit either. And for you men out there that really don't agree with me, because the femons in Iraq are so oppressed. Just think how oppressed men are in the Western and European world. Do not remove a splinter from somebody else's eye when you have a plank in your own. Solo Man's verses 16 to 24. The Book of Moretti. See you.